Hey guys, it's Dude49, and I'm going to be going over the new tapping and bursting technique and giving you some tips and tricks on how to use that. And I feel like Valve actually implemented this on all the guns because I only noticed this after using the AUG and the SG. And some of you might say, well, why are you using the AUG? Well, I mean, if you've got a skin like this, you're going to use the shit out of the AUG, you know what I'm saying? So first off, Valve updated the AK and the M4s to make it easier to have a reset time on a tap or a burst. So you're going to end up you're going to have a great time basically tapping and bursting. And this is what it kind of looks like for me now. Like, it's really easy. But something I noticed is that with the AUG and the SG, I feel like this is a global update. And I even tested it with the other M4s and everything. And I realized that some of them, or the other rifles that is, I realized that some of them actually have literally no recoil if you are tapping and bursting because of the reset time is so quick. See, the AUG in the past was very punishing. And I used to use the AUG a lot prior to the update, simply because I had the skin. If you're going to have a skin like that, obviously you're going to use it because why the heck not? And from using it, I noticed the AUG was very punishing in the past, but after the update, I noticed it was extremely easy to use. And I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks, and who knows, maybe you guys will find it a good use. And I'm also going to tell you areas where I think you might want to use the AK or the M4s, or you might want to use the AUG or the SG, because this also applies to the SG. Now, starting it off, let's just look at the AUG real quick. So with the AUG, the reset time is actually really quick. I'm going to take a 2-shot burst. Now, let me just show you the AK. If you take a 2-shot burst with the AK, it has a lot of spread. Although it can hit the head with 1-hit kill, it has a lot of spread. So check this out. I'm going to take 2 shots. You can see that it spreads. Even though the recoil jumps, I'll try to control it. Even there, with recoil control, it spreads. So that could mean a miss, even if you're aiming at the head. And that's the problem with the AK. Although it resets quicker, you do have spread. But the AUG has virtually no spread because it's so small compared to the AK, and with the new reset time it's actually really good. So check this out. It's actually holding tight. Now if I were to control this on a burst, it's extremely tight. That's not controlling it, that's controlling it. It's extremely tight, so it's going to definitely hit the head. But something else I noticed was that if it is actually really good on a Hipfire burst, that means the scope fire should be affected as well on a tap or a burst. But when you're scoped in, you want to tap. And I swear on my life, I am not kidding when I say this, I am not touching the mouse when I'm doing this. I am simply clicking the fire button. I am only tapping the shoot button. I am not controlling the recoil and tapping as quick as I can with the AUG when scoped in. And look at this. It is extremely tight. You literally just need to barely control the recoil and you will be on point. So now I'm going to control the recoil. That is a laser gun. Literally a laser gun. Just tapping as quick as I can with the AUG, it will go where I aim. So check this out. So let's take it into practical use and use it on these guys. And look at this. This is like, I don't even know what to say. This is just ridiculous. So you'll notice that I ended up spraying there, and I'm going to go into a little bit of tips on the spray and how the new spray actually works. But if you end up spraying, you're going to end up missing like I did there. But if you tap really quickly, and keep in mind that the AUG does about 98 to 99 damage to the face with head armor, no matter the distance, you can actually tap them out really quick with just tapping as quick as you can. Like, I'm not stopping this tap at all. I'm just tapping and tapping and tapping and going around looking for them and tapping. It's that simple. This is ridiculous. Barely needing to control the recoil whatsoever and just tap as quick as you can, and the AUG wrecks them. That's as simple as it gets. The new update has also affected the scope recoil reset time. Before, if I were to do this, it would go all over the place. It would not be accurate. There would be some recoil value applied to it that didn't reset. But now with the new reset time, apparently it's resetting a lot quicker for the AUG, so you want to tap really quickly with the AUG scoped in. But some of you might say, well, what about the Hipfire? Well, check this out. A 2-shot burst is even tighter than an AK's 2-shot burst on Hipfire. Now, of course, the AK is a one hit to the face. The AUG is not a one hit to the face. An AUG takes 2 hits. Like I said, it does about 98 to 99 damage with 1 hit to the face. So let's look at the SG. If the AUG is changed, the SG is changed as well. But if I were to show you this, there was a thing in the past that Counter-Strike, with the previous update, people would not want to use the SG simply because, yes, it did have a faster fire rate. Yes, it does have a higher armor pen. So knowing that, that means the SG is actually better because it also has a scope, which it does, and it is better. The problem is it has a wide spread, and that was actually affected by the reset time of shooting. But with the new update, the SG is actually just as good and in some cases better. But I'm going to tell you guys later on in the end of this video where you want to use the AK or the SG. By all means, this is not saying the AK is shit now. The AK is incredible now. The SG is even better now too, which means there is reason to use it. I'm going to start with hipfire. I'm going to start by showing you the AK hipfiring, and then I'm going to move on to the SG hipfiring. So you can see it's pretty solid with the AK, okay? We got that out of the way. The AK, we already know it's solid, hipfire, 2-shot, wicked. But here's a difference. I'm going to show you the recoil pattern of the AK when I'm slightly controlling it. I'm going to call this mid-control because I'm going to show you how to spray with the new spray pattern in a sec. I'll give you some tips on that. But this is what it looks like with the AK. You're going to see it goes like this. You're going to have to pull down like this. You can see how the recoil started going up here and then it jumped off to the side. Whereas the SG is actually like this. This is the way you want to control the recoil. See how it starts jumping up on the right side, but it's actually a lot easier than the AK, which spreads all over the place. This one is just a simple straight on pull down. So you could actually use that to your advantage when you're shooting people and wrecking them. The SG is actually just as good, you could even say maybe even better than the AK now with the update because of the reset time to the burst fire, right? But remember the AUG. The AUG was wicked sick, tapping really quick. The SG is just as good. But the thing is, the SG is a one-hit kill to the face. A one hit. The AUG takes 2 hits, the SG is 1 hit. But it's a slight difference to the shooting pattern. You don't want to mimic the AUG shooting. You want to tap at a slightly slower rate. So this is how you want to tap with the SG. And that is disgusting how tight that is. I am not even controlling the recoil. Literally, I am just maintaining my aim. That's it. I'm not pulling down. I'm just maintaining where I want the bullets to go, which is literally at the reticle, and that's that dot there. All you need to do is tap at a slightly slower rate than the AUG, like this, and you will kill them. And it's okay because it's a one-hit kill to the face, whereas the AUG requires 2-hit kills to the face, so it goes... And it's pretty tight too, compared to the SG. So let's look how it looks like with the SG doing that. You see what I'm talking about? I am not controlling the recoil. I swear on my life, I'm not. I'm just aiming and tapping as quick as I can. I'm not even bursting or spraying, just tap, 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 and I get the job done. The SG and the AUG are more powerful than they used to be simply because of the reset time that is now applied to the bursting and tapping, which is also applied to the M4 and the AK. Now let's go look at the M4s. It's something I want to point out. The M4A1S was, I used to call it a laser gun. Now it's an extreme laser gun. There's barely to no recoil control needed when you are bursting with the thing. And that's what it's meant to be, considering the low recoil or considering the low ammo count. The M4A1S is meant to be burst. So let's just do this real quick, and you will see that I am not really just pulling down my recoil. I'm just aiming. You just have to aim, and that's it. You just have to aim and burst. You don't even need to control the recoil. Just aim and burst. It will get the job done. Of course, it's a 2-hit to the face. Preferably, I like to use the M4A4 because it kind of has a little bit of a higher recoil, and you can spray, you have more bullets, all that stuff. Now, personally, I would be spraying with it up close, but it's a similar thing to an AK. You're just bursting. You get the idea, why I like it. It can pierce a lot of guys, all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. So now looking at the galil. This has also been reset. What I recommend is tapping at a good rate or at distance shots generally or even close shots. I find that tapping is really good because most people don't buy head armor on CT because they feel they don't need to because the AK will wreck them. Well, if they don't buy head armor, a galil against somebody without head armor will kill them instantly. And tapping, I feel, is a lot quicker than bursting because I'll just show you what it looks like with tap compared to burst. Again, I want to mention, I am barely controlling the recoil because of the new update. It literally has reduced the recoil because of the tap reset of the recoil. So now bursting. You can see that it's probably better to just tap because you can output a lot more bullets in a tap. And if you control it enough, you can actually wreck them really quick. And by control, I mean your rate of tap. Because the faster you tap, the more spread you're going to get, but the slower you tap, the less spread you're going to get. So that's how it works. Now, looking at the FAMAS, this thing is an absolute laser gun. There's no need to control the recoil. You can burst or tap with it all you want. It is just straight to where your crosshair's aiming. There's no recoil control. Just burst or tap. That doesn't mean put it on burst fire that they have in the game like that. I mean, leave it at full automatic and do a 2-shot burst or a tap fire. Let me show you what the burst looks like and the tap. That's a 2-shot burst, not even controlling recoil. I swear on my life. Here's a tap. All right, so obviously you're gonna have to control the tap a little bit just to get the spread in there, but as you can see, I prefer bursting just because it's tighter and you can wreck them easy peasy. It's literally like, I mean, it's at the point where it's like, why buy an M4 when you can get a FAMAS that can wreck them with a 2-shot to the face, just like an A1S, right? I mean, it's such a laser gun. There's no point in using the A1S because you have more bullets and it wrecks them just as quick. Sure, it's not prior. It wasn't the best gun, maybe not the best spraying gun, but now it's so good at tapping and has practically no recoil. Why use an A1S when you can use a FAMAS? Because of the new update, you can do a 2-shot burst extremely quick, which will be equivalent to a spray, but it is still a 2-shot burst, and it will hold the spread so tight that you don't even need to control the recoil. All you are doing is maintaining your crosshair on where you want the bullets to go, and you are guaranteed to hit those 2 shots because of the tight spread. Let me do a quick burst on the wall, and you will see what it looks like. Now that is me on fully automatic 2-shot burst. Look at this burst that is applied to the gun, how it's different. It is not worth it to use the burst on the FAMAS whatsoever. Do not even touch it. It is wasting your time. It is adding recoil. It's not needed. Having the FAMAS on a simple, fully automatic and doing a 2-shot burst as quick as you can, maintaining where you want the bullets to go, I can guarantee you'll take out everybody you need. So overall, what do I recommend now, knowing that the rifles have been all updated? I actually like this. I want people to start trying different guns out. From what I recommend, on close quarter maps like Overpass, Dust 2, maps like that, you're going to want to keep using the AK, even the FAMAS, Galil, and the M4s. But on wider, larger maps like Train, Cobble, those type of maps, you're going to want to probably consider investing in an AUG or an SG. It does the job. It works just as good as an AK. Now, this isn't saying don't buy the AK. The AK is a great gun to use. But on large scale maps, why not invest in a gun that you know will help you wreck the enemy on longer ranges and even close ranges? Check this out. I'm going to do Hipfire, then tap with the close scope. So that's what Hipfire looks exactly the same to the AK, now with tapping. It makes your life incredibly easier than just using the AK. And keep in mind, there's practically no recoil with these guns because of the reset time. All you're doing is tapping and bursting, and it's become significantly easier. So consider this. Try using the AUG and the SG on large scale maps like Train or Cobble. On closer quarter maps, consider keeping on using the AK and the M4. You don't need that long range. Unless you're on Dust 2 Long A, you might want to use an AUG or an SG, but in that case, you're probably using an AUG. Now with spraying, this has also changed. I do not recommend spraying, realistically. I don't recommend you unleashing a whole clip. It's not as easy as it was before to control the spread on it. It's just all over the place. What I do recommend, though, is a 6 to 7 bullet burst. That's essentially the same as spraying, except it's a lot tighter. It's a really long burst that's a lot tighter. Now, let me just show you what it looks like with a large spray. I'm going to control these with a large spray compared to a 6 to 7 bullet burst, maybe even 5 bullets, because it only takes about 4 to 5 bullets to kill your opponent if you are spraying in their body. But check this out. This is me attempting to control my recoil as best as I can. Now, this is a 4 to 5 or 6 to 7 bullet burst, if you could even say. It's a lot more tighter than a full-on spray. I mean, if you're really desperate, you're going to go for the full-on spray. But I think just having a really tight spread in a nice burst, a large burst even, you can take the opponent out quicker. So I recommend just controlling it only for about 6 to 7 bullets in a burst. You don't need to go more than that. So consider that when you are choosing your guns. I like these new variables, and I hope these tips and tricks helped you. If you guys enjoyed this video, do leave a like down below and let me know in the comments what you think. Go check it out, go try it, and let me know what your experience was and how you guys are doing with these tips, and if they actually did help you or not. And I really do appreciate it when you guys click that subscribe button and support my YouTube channel. It means the world to me seeing you guys comment, because I do read all your comments, and I will catch you guys later.